Hello and welcome back to Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intentions. My name is Eva. I'm your host for today. So, today I would like to bring up a topic of never give up. See, over the years, I seldom shared my experiences from my youth. They were often fraught with memories and emotions that I found difficult to confront, leading me to bury them deep within. Yet, with time, these stories have transformed into invaluable lessons. In 1993, my parents made the monumental decision to relocate from Poland to Canada, thrusting me into the world both exciting and entirely foreign. If you listen to my previous episode, I go into more detail about my upbringing. So, coming from a small village in southern Poland, my knowledge of different cultures and ways of life was limited to what I had learned in books. The reality of moving to a new country, a bustling city, and grappling with a language I didn't speak left me feeling profoundly isolated and emotionally fractured. As life unfolded, the challenges only seemed to intensify. The initial 5 years following our move proved to be some of the most difficult times I have ever faced, testing me in countless ways. Signs on giving up on life. See, I found myself slipping away, losing touch with the passion for life that once fueled me, and gradually withdrawing from family and friends while pretending everything was fine. Life began to feel quite overwhelming rather than exhilarating, and negative thoughts started to dominate my subconscious. See, despite remaining active in various pursuits like karate, music, and sports during my teenage years, internally I was carrying a heavy burden of emotional pain. Although cannot pinpoint the exact year in my junior high school years, it marked some of my lowest moments. I recall my struggle with self-inflicted wounds and actually going through suicidal thoughts. It's hard to grasp why someone would harm themselves or contemplate ending their own life. But for me, it was a desperate attempt to cope with overwhelming emotions, intense pressure, and feeling of isolation and rejection to some point. At such an age, I haven't really developed, a coping mechanism to deal with all that. So it wasn't something that I knew how to cope with at the same time. When emotions weren't expressed in a constructive ways, the tension within me became unbearable, leading me to self-harm as a misguided attempt to release that pressure. So looking back, it's clear that this wasn't the best solution. There are numerous ways to navigate life's challenges and cope with emotional pain, including seeking professional help, which my parents attempted to provide by encouraging me to take antidepressants and talk to some professionals. However, I resisted, feeling as though I was navigating through turmoil alone and ultimately contemplating ending it all. Fortunately, I couldn't bring myself to go through with this, as you can see. As time passed, I grew weary from the emotional roller coaster and other struggles life presented. However, the absence of a true understanding of my connection to a higher power left me with a distorted self-image from for many years, feeling invisible to myself. My thoughts became consumed by anger, fear, and a lack of self-love, perpetuating a cycle of stress, exhaustion, and declining health. To add to that, it felt as though parts of my identity were slipping away, and I longed to rediscover happiness and joy in life. It became apparent that I needed to break free from the grip of these negative thought patterns and cultivate a more positive mindset to reclaim my zest for life. My turning point. In my in my own way and to the best of my ability, I began to take baby steps to adjust to the life around me. It was not easy. A personal development was not something I was very familiar with at that time. I had to re-educate in my mind and turn it into a power producing plant. I needed to let go of who I was to transform into a person I was becoming. The internal and external rebuilding of my life was underway finally. It felt as if life itself was dramatically cheering me on, providing the loudest and clearest physical evidence of breakthroughs. Fast forward a few years, my entire world was transforming before my eyes. I moved from a past of chaos, stress, hopelessness, and despair into a life of fulfillment. Each day became filled with new blessings. The impossible became possible when I let go and allowed life to support me. I am so grateful that I trusted my inner guidance, even though I went through all that, for I was subsequently blessed with countless miracles that continue to bless me today. I have left behind a world of troubles where I felt pushed by life, and now I am living the life of my dreams, feeling empowered. So find something good in everything. When you feel like quitting, it takes effort to build your inner strength and overcome hardships. Always remember, success and failure are not overnight experiences. It's the small decisions along the way that cause people to fail or succeed. If you can recognize the signs of giving up on life, change your path and start achieving again. The power is yours, and I understand that very well now. Life is constantly changing. That is its nature. Sometimes things happen that are beyond our control, but no matter what is going on, you can think, and that is huge. So, no matter how much things change, do not let life come to a halt. Choose to keep growing. Instead of giving up on your goals and dreams, double down. Make sure you stay on track and get ahead of your goals. There's tremendous power in seeing the good in everything. Sometimes it can be tough to see the good things, but if you practice pausing before you respond, you will be able to find something positive in any situation, even if it seems really small. Viktor Frankl said it best in his excellent book, Man's Search for Meaning. He said that in every situation, between the situation and our response, there's a space. Start training your mind to use that space to think of something good automatically. I myself practice that technique almost every day. I believe these temporary setbacks are part of life, and we must experience them to ever be truly successful. Failing at some things on our way to success humbles us and teaches us the lessons we need to learn. For people who never give up, failure is simply the fuel for greater determination and success in life. I hope by sharing my story, and if you are going through something in life, that it reminds you to never give up and that there's always hope. Now, if you would like to read more inspiring stories, there's a book called Never Give Up. This is where my chapter is actually in. And this chapter actually has a lot more in it. I just kind of downsized it all for the podcast. So it's called Never Give Up Stories of Perseverance. And it is by Linda Sunshine West and Sally Green. So I will post the details in this podcast. In this book, there's 23 authors who share their stories of never give up as well. So if you like to read up more, I'll share the link for you to get this book on Amazon. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions you'd like to connect, I'm here for you. Reach out and I'll be glad to connect with you. Till next time, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for listening.